Here's Buddhism for Beginners in its new version. They, Shambhala reprinted it and they changed the cover. So it now looks like this. And this book has many rebirths. And it was actually the beginnings of this book were the beginnings of my writing. Yeah. I never expected to write books. When I went to English 101 in my first year of college, my papers came back completely marked up with red ink. You know, I don't know, I just couldn't write. But when I moved to Singapore in the autumn of '87, then somebody loaned me a computer. It was one of those, remember those old computers with the black screen and the green letters and the discs you saved on that were about this big? Yeah? So somebody, loaned me one of those computers. And then one man came one day when I had just been there a very short time, a young man, he was maybe 25 or so, and he started asking me all these questions about Buddhism. And so I talked to him and I answered them. And then as I began teaching in various places in Singapore, I realized people kept asking very similar questions again and again and again. So I thought, oh gee, it would be nice to put together some kind of Q&A thing to distribute to people just, so they would have answers to their questions. And then one day, another man came to see me. I remember all these people, quite individually who did all these things. And he said, if you ever want to publish a book for free distribution, let me know. I would like to support it. Because this is the custom in Singapore and many Southeast Asian countries, is you give donations and then you publish Buddhist books and then they are distributed freely, which I think is such a wonderful idea. So then there was a computer, somebody asking questions, and somebody volunteering the resources. So I thought, okay, let's put something together. So I put together this little thing of questions and answers, and we called it I Wonder Why. And the front cover was a picture of a mountain that you see as you drive up to Dharamsala. And I'm just thinking now, we took that picture when we were driving to Dharamsala with Pari Rinpoche back in 1988. And he's coming to the Abbey next week. And this is, interesting coincidence. So it got published as I Wonder Why, and it was this huge hit in Singapore. Huge hit. Because they really lack materials in English and in simple language. And there it was, all the questions that they were asking themselves. So we published it again and again and again. And then when I got back to the US, it was difficult. People here had many of the same questions, plus more. But I also realized if we published it for free distribution, or printed it for free distribution in Singapore, there's no way for people in the States to get it. That the only way for people in the States and Europe and other countries to get it is if it was published by a publishing company, which means that they were then going to sell the books and charge for them. So I would have much rather just done everything for free distribution, but the way things work in this country and, in many countries, is they have to be published for people to even know they exist, which means they have to buy them. So be it. So I gave it to Snow Lion, and they published it. It first came out. I added some more chapters to it, giving some of the questions Westerners had. So it wasn't just, Asian questions, now Western questions together in one book. Many of the questions overlap. And we published it under the name of What Color is Your Mind? Yeah, which I thought was a cool title, but nobody else did, and the sales reflected it. Then that, it ran out like that, and Snow Lion wanted to republish it, and we changed the title to Buddhism for Beginners. Well, it's like one of the most widely recommended or purchased, like, introductory books that on Amazon about Buddhism. And so it's all just questions and answers written in simple language, and the questions that people themselves asked me. Yeah. So I never, like I said, I never intended to write books. This just kind of came about due to causes and conditions, and I kind of got nudged into it. But looking back on it, I really have to thank Mrs. Makowski in 7th grade, who taught me how to make an outline, and Mrs. Sloan in high school, who taught me how to write, and this nameless TA who I thought was so boring in my English 101 class at USC, who I can't even remember, who marked all my papers up in red. And also Steve Wilhelm, who edited this book when I was first starting to write this book and Open Heart, Clear Mind, and he also marked it up completely in red. But that's how I learned to do things, to write better. So it's a kind of a long history, yeah. But it's interesting because, in so many ways my life wound up to be not what I expected it to be, and doing not what I expected to be doing. Yeah. But you can really see now, thanks to all those unnamed, forgotten, unappreciated teachers, who we've had, who teach us just even ABC.